Hit him with the howitzer. Hit him with the howitzer. Oh! Welcome to today's episode of My Hero Academia. We got season 2, episode 4. So we're coming back from arguably the best anime episode of all time. You know, you gotta give it its due. I call it like it is. Nothing but facts here. No bias. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter that Bakugo is my favorite character. You know, it had nothing to do with my decision to name it the top anime episode ever. You know, okay. I'm just. At least for me, it's even debatable if it's like the best My Hero episode. There's just been so many good ones, you know? Just been a lot of good ones. But this one does have a special place in my heart. Because it's Bakugo's little moment. Now, hopefully the moment is going to keep rolling on. You know, hopefully it didn't end with... Speaking of the ending, I realized afterwards that... Bakugo, you know, when All For One was tweaking out and being like, you seeing like getting PTSD from the second user, flashbacks to that fight, you know, after Bakugo's like probably gave him a damn concussion. What's all that concussive force to the head, you know? That's probably why he's tweaking a little bit, you know, mixing up Bakugo and getting PTSD. From the second user, but he said Bakugo said something. You know, when All For One called him Kudo, he was like, "No, my name's not Kudo. My name is Bakugo Kachan." Bro didn't say Katsuki. You know, at the time, it did flash in my head. It flashed in my head for a bit. I was like, Kachan. He's never called himself. I haven't see. My thing is, I don't assume anything, you know? I try not to assume as much as possible. I like to give things in general the benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, I don't recall him ever calling himself Kachan before. Only person I've ever heard him call Kachan to my memory is Deku. You know, just Suzuku. He's the only person that's ever called him Kachan. Now, I don't know if I was thinking maybe I missed at some point, maybe sometime earlier in the series or in one of these movies that I haven't seen. I've basically seen all of them, except for this last one that came out, the You Are Next, which I gotta see. I was thinking maybe somebody calls him Kachan outside of this. Maybe his parents do. I don't know. So I was like, I didn't want to make it a big deal. I didn't want to assume it was a big deal that he called himself that, you know? I didn't want to. I was like, maybe somebody else calls him. Maybe they call him that in class, kind of. I don't know. Even though, to my better knowledge, the only person that I can recall call him that is Deku. So apparently it was a big deal when I was looking at other people's reactions and going through Twitter and TikTok and shit. People were like, Kachan, he calls himself Kachan. Oh, okay, so it was a big deal. Yeah. See, in my opinion, if that's the case, you know, if that's what was intended to be disseminated to the audiences, to the watchers, would I call that like? I don't know what I would. I feel like then, like a lot of the fight or most of the fight, he was thinking of Deku and like catching up to Deku, and so Deku, I'm thinking one possibility is Deku is like on his mind at that point, so Deku always calls him Kachan, so he just called himself Kachan by accident, or maybe not an accident, he just happened to call himself that because it's associated with Deku, or it could show like complete acceptance for Deku and reverence for Deku. You know, it's an ode to him, I guess. So it could be acceptance, it could be accident because he's thinking, he has him on his mind. His body's in pain as he's blowing himself up, you know, fighting through pain, trying to be like Deku at that point, because I don't think Alma's body was in pain when he was fighting, but you know who was Deku, and he keeps pushing, he kept pushing forward. So yes, hopefully this is not the end of the moment. I'm hoping that Bakugo gets to take down All for One. You know, it's not just a little flash. He has a little moment, and then All for One swats him like a fly. We get snap back to reality. At least maybe if he does smack Bakugo, at least make it so that Bakugo wore down the rewind enough, his life enough, so that like he's out of time now. He doesn't have to actually kill or take out, All for One, like end his life. Just he delayed him enough and caused enough damage so that time's up for him, So yeah, might as well jump into it at this point. All right. So with all that being said, let us begin. What is that? Oh, it's like a womb. Or like an embryo thing. Oh, don't tell me that's his mama. Well, I told you. I was talking about this guy being What was I gonna say? Like having everybody has a backstory. Oh, him and his brother. That's gotta be All for One for sure. Why is it such a big ass? That's a big old baby. Or one of them small. I don't know who's normal size and who's a runt, if anything like that. Like, damn, All for One was that, which I assume that's him. Yeah, was raised on the streets. What kind of big old bug eyes are those? Oh, he just a effed up baby.
その赤子は生まれながらに不損だった。身の回りすべてが自身の所有物であり、なけどわめけど自身を見ない何も与えないものがただただ疑問だった。
The power of Christ compels you.
What kind of demon baby?
弟はとても小さく脆弱だった。自身に何も与えない存在だったが、手に持っていたものなので、兄は弟を決して手放そうとしなかった。
兄さん、その姿は。
おかしな話だよ。そんなので人を集められるなんてさ。だから殺して奪ってやった。
なんで？
だってあのコミックに書かれていたろ。ワン・フォー・オール、オール・フォー・ワン。いい言葉だよな。ヒーローは正体を隠して孤独に戦っていたけれど、悪の魔王はみんなが恐怖して全てを差し出すんだ。お前がそうであるように、みんなが僕のためだけに存在する世界。僕にも夢ができた。
兄さん。
So this, are you trying to tell me this didn't particularly come from anywhere?
僕と行こう。愚かで可愛い弟よ。
今世界が混乱の最中にある。異能は私利私欲に使うべきじゃない。あんたは自分を満たすことしか考えてない。
かわいそうに。異能を持たずに生まれたばっかりに、力がなければ通せる道理もない。夢は現実になった。現実は定石通りにいかない。お前が僕に屈しない現実も、これから僕が塗り替える。お前が大切だ。
やめろ。
痩せ細ったお前にも使いやすい異能を見つけたんだ。 今からお前に与えてあげよう。
やめろ。
名前も決めたよ。余一だ。僕に一番最初に与えられたものだからそう名付けた。
Huh.
さあ共に行こう。
So I guess that that explains the brother complex thing a little bit.
なんだお前は。離れろ。僕のだ。僕を見ていろ。
He just walking after like Michael Myers. These guys spreading, he just walking. He killed him like that.
弟を奪った青年と目が合うも、彼の眼球は生まれつき薄膜が張ったように艶がないので、その瞳に青年が映り込むことはない。
Oh my lord.
涙を出せば狼狽させられるから出した。嫌がることと望んでいることを操り貶め、そうやって手中に収めてきた。なのにお前は僕の思い通
Rejected.
りにならない。
The only thing that didn't go the way that he
欲しいだけなのに
didn't go the way he wanted.
追っても僕の手からすり抜けていく。
All for what? One for all literally is his brother to him.
お前のせいだ。
What's his brother back?
お前を殺すのもゴールも譲渡も何もかも一括だ。来る。全員解放。
Oh,
オール法は全ては一つの目的のために。
are those like quirk factors of everybody he's stolen from? I didn't think he could. Oh my god.
手に出たか。バカがてめえなもん勝てるわけねえだろ。よけろ少年。
Look at that big fuck. What kind of? Is that AP shot?
何の挙動も見せていなかったはず。雨で威力をつっからよ。コーティングして飛ばしといた。
Oh.
する汗粒、普通の汗粒でな。誘爆せず飛ばせて、時間差で混ざって、他の刺激で起爆できっかなって。あの時、僕の口の中に。
Wow.
土壇場で。
Yeah, that moment did seem a little bit weird to me. Hit him with the howitzer. Hit him with the howitzer. Oh! Blow this, man. Look at all my space. Yeah, you better. That's enough. Oh. I knew this would come back. Yeah, all the people you stole from is come back to bite you. This is our story.
そうじゃなかったんだ。一人じゃなかった。この体も。
Look at Bakugo, ugly ass baby. Oh my god.
命も夢もこれは俺たちの物語だ。
They actually took him out.
皆が少しずつ与えてきたダメージと苛立ちがついに
You took him out.
オール・フォー・ワン今度こそ俺一人で勝てるわけねえんだよもう言葉すら失ってる生まれたてた
No, it's not.
放っておいても消える倒れねえってのは
Exactly. Stand up.
ねえ完全に勝たねえとねえ
As I said, watch out, Brody. Blow that baby to Kingdom Come. Okay, fine. You don't need to blow him up, I guess. He'll disappear. Stand up like All Might. He's trying to pull the All Might. Yeah. Hey, even from the ground. Even from the ground, dog. Alright, Deku. You're up next. Yeah, he did it! So that was that. Sorry. I got a little lump in my throat, you know? Got a little lump from watching that beauty. But yeah, that was the episode. Okay, so we got it. Bakugo got to actually finish him, I guess. He'd actually like kill him, but the goal was to get him, damage him enough to rewind him back to nothing, and that's exactly what happened. Man, this is like the end of Bakugo's like little character arc, right? Like, went from being that. I used to hate Bakugo so much. I don't know. I'm trying to remember at what point did I start like getting turned around a little bit. Let me see that first fight of theirs. I think maybe that's when I started to think about it. Like that first exercise battle with Deku, like where Bakugo had like this giant gauntlet and unleashed the whole grenade thing and blew a hole in the wall, and you know, he punched upward through the roof. That's when I started to maybe think about maybe if he could redirect some of this anger. You know, maybe he's not just so mean. He's just like really passionate, you know. So if he could just redirect to the right places, maybe. But he's still a giant turd, you know. But he did some heinous things back in the day of Deku. Like the fact that he implied that Deku should kill himself back then, when he was like, oh, if you want to be, I don't know if he said if you want to be a hero, I think it was way back in the beginning, probably episode 1. It's like, maybe you should, you know, jump off a building or something and try again in another life. So I think maybe after he got kidnapped, I don't want to say notorious. That famous scene where he blows himself off the ground and grabs onto Kirishima's head. I think that's maybe the festival. I think the festival is when I started to find him a little bit amusing, when he was all chained up after he won the festival. But yeah, from that kid I used to hate to this, where he's like, this is not your story, this is our story. I could have done this by myself. And just the support, his support for Izuku. I mean, at this point, Bakugo's like, a hero physically and mentally now. Like I think he's all there now. At this point, is he like a top 2 hero now? I can't think of anybody that would top 3 for sure. If you want to throw Deku in there, at the end of Deku will be Deku. Endeavor and Bakugo is a debate, man. I don't know. I don't think Endeavor could have done what Bakugo just did. I don't think so. No. For sure, he didn't have the speed that Bakugo does to go and like catch up to All For One. I'm talking about just pure combat damage from a damage inflicting standpoint. And Bakugo was all busted up too and damaged too, so he wasn't even at like his peak. Unless you want to count adrenaline making him stronger than he would have been, but for sure, Bakugo is locked in top 3 hero for sure. I don't know how they do their rankings if it's just off of. It's not off of strength, obviously. It's everything that comes into it, like your ability to save, your demeanor, and all that. But just from ability alone, man's top 3 locked in. So yeah, All For One is gone. We had a little bit of his backstory, like actually really like all of it. I was saying in an earlier video that everybody has like a background story, you know. Everybody's just assuming that All For One is this demon, evil, inherently evil guy. But no, everybody has like he probably has some story in the past that happened to him that, you know, caused some trauma to make him the way he is. No. He was just a demon from birth. A demon from the womb. He came out the womb and stole his mama's quirk. Is that what killed her? I don't know. I don't know if the mom died like after giving birth. Like she just gave birth. There was no medical attention, anything like that. Like she gave birth on the streets or wherever she was. And that's what killed their blood loss. Or if little All For One baby just killed him. And so I guess like, yeah, the first thing he was ever given, I guess he was given a mom and a brother. And since mom's dead or he killed her, all he really had to start out with was his brother, his first real possession, I guess. So we just dragged him around. He just went around killing people. He has to be like a victim of his quirk or something. That All For One quirk has to be what made him a demon, unless his personality is just like, I'm thinking it might be like a toga type deal, where his quirk is just making him like that. So hey, All For One he might just be a victim. You might have a reason to feel sorry for him a little bit. But and then I thought maybe there'd be a little bit more behind him killing his brother. It'd be like a conversation or something. No, he just insta-killed him. And at the same time, tried to take the quirk back that he got from him. What was the regret in killing his brother, really? I thought that he was crying because of regret. No, not really. Maybe, kind of. It's the fact that his brother's still out there. He wants to possess him. I don't know, man. All I know is that little demon baby is gone. I was so scared. I was so scared when that little... Why'd they have to do that to us? When All For One shot that spear out of his mouth, y'all did not have to add that splash effect to make it seem like Bakugo got stabbed in the head or something. No. I think it took a bite out of that shit. Oh, but yeah, he's done. He's done. The world saw Bakugo. That alone should propel him way up the rankings. You know, where does... I know Hair Society is falling apart at this point, so I don't know if they're even still doing rankings or how that whole shit is working, at least in Japan right now. But putting all that shit on camera, he gotta be like top... Can't at least put my boy in the top 10. I know he's a student, but can you at least have some decency and put my boy top 5? If not, I mean, if you're not gonna put him top 10, he's at least gonna be like a super celebrity at this point. And his parents and his daddy's probably looking at him, looking at him landing the finishing blow. The proud, he's trying to stand up there with his fist up, trying to pull the all back. It's not easy, man. It's not as easy as it looks when you're drained of your power. You know, to try to. I guess I might be able to relate a little bit. You know, it's the equivalent of when you were in sports. They say, what do they say? It's like they don't want you to put your hands on your knees or whatever. Like when you're out of breath, so you ran like, I don't know, 4 miles or something. Because we had some dark days back in football. Our team sucked. The coaches punished us. There was no discipline among our teams. So we were punished with a lot of running back then. So let's say you ran a whole bunch or whatever you did, barrel rolls, the bear crawls, whatever the heck you do in your sport. What is it for basketball? Like gassers? Get on the line. No, yeah. Or suicides? Yeah, that's what they do in basketball, suicides. And at the end of that, they're like, obviously don't sit down. Don't collapse to the ground. Don't put your hands on your knees. That's a sign of weakness. I don't, at least they do that for football. Stand up straight. Breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. But you have to, like, control yourself. Show some willpower. And that's what Bakugo tried to do. But didn't really have the strength left to stay on his feet. I was so scared that the first time around because, you know, things, All For One always seems to have, like, things seem to go his way a little bit, or he has, like, a little backup plan. I was worried that Bakugo was going to, like, pass out, and All For One was going to, like, take his quirk and, like, explode to Shigaraki's location somehow last second and transfer the quirk over to him. Hell, he still might have a backup plan in place now. I have a little bit of PTSD that he set like a little piece of him or something that's gonna get to the scene and all of a sudden take over Shigaraki. I'm still a little worried about that. He's not done until we get triple, quadruple, 10x confirmed that he is done. Okay? Oh yeah, one more thing. I almost forgot to say. You notice how a lot of that end sequence looked just like another particular fight? You know, the end sequence of that Bakugo versus All For One fight seemed a little similar to another fight that All For One had with the guy named let's see, All Might. Didn't that look like the United States of Smash? Did it not? With the hand up at the end too? Yeah, I saw that. Very nice. Very, very good work. I like that. But yeah, Bakugo, hand up. Couldn't stay on his feet. So, we'll take it from the ground. Hand up from the ground. Pointed out, essentially pointed off to Deku. It's your turn. It's your turn, Deku. You got this. You got this, bruh. It's all up to you. Let's see. You heard him. The ball's in your court, Deku. What you gonna do? So yeah, drop a like, sub, share. I read every comment. I appreciate every comment. Follow me on Patreon where you get full length episodes. The episode's kind of early. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, all right? Peace.